Joining me live now on the phone is Mississippi Lieutenant Governor Phil Bryant. And Lieutenant Governor, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. I am just on the way again to meet with our National Guard. Alex, and you're right, it was an EF5, about 205-mile-hour winds. We haven't seen anything like that in Mississippi since 1966 when a similar tornado hit a small community in South Jackson called Candlestick. And we've got 51 counties with damage, severe damage here, 34 dead, 14 dead in that small community of Smithville, and another 14 to perhaps 18 missing. So it's a tough day in northeast Mississippi.
You know, it is, sir. And you bring up the story of Candlestick from 45 years ago. We're trying to get a grasp, as I'm sure you are, on what the future holds. What happened to Candlestick? Was it ever repopulated? Was it fixed up?
Well, it was, and strangely enough, I was living in South Jackson at the time as a 12-year-old boy, standing in my front yard, watching that massive storm at about 1.5 miles away from my home then, and it did return. Now, the economic conditions in that area over the past 40 years has reduced it, but it was rebuilt. We in Mississippi always believed, particularly after Katrina, that we're going to stand back up, that we're going to get ourselves together, we're going to rebuild. We're going to rebuild Smithville. It's going to be better than ever before. Tremendous resources from our churches and volunteer organizations, Red Cross, Salvation Army that are there, first responders. So unfortunately in Mississippi, we know how to respond to disasters, and Governor Barber and the National Guard and all of us are pulling together to do so this morning.
Yeah, I'm sure you are, and that's a very courageous approach, Lieutenant Governor, but I'm sure there are concerns about the economic impact, how this will fiscally turn things out for the state of Mississippi. What is your gravest concern, aside, of course, from the immediate concerns about making sure people are safe and getting them at least shelter if need be?
Sure. That's the first thing we look at, the loss of life. But then you have to look at the businesses. Most every business in Smithville was destroyed, so many across the state. And then you've got the expense to the local communities, fire departments, police departments, even our National Guard that is now working. And we've stood those units up and redefined that mission. But that's an expense to the state of Mississippi that we've got to factor in. And on top of all of that, we've got a Mississippi rising to the levels of 1937, one of the greatest floods in our history, perhaps rivaling the 1927 Great Flood. So you're looking at the casinos that are in that area are shutting down, about 9 casinos, which generate perhaps $10 million from between now and the end of May when we anticipate the river cresting. And so that's an additional burden. So we are indeed happy that the president yesterday declared this a national disaster area, and I believe 9 of our counties, and so we will have FEMA providing individual assistance and public assistance, which is vital at this time.
I'll tell you, your description of this 1-2 punch is quite extraordinary. I'm glad I'm sitting down hearing the descriptions. But Lieutenant Governor Phil Bryant there, best of luck as you go through things in Mississippi, sir.
Thank y'all so very much.